Welcome back, everyone, to Pinetopia. We are back here at the temple, and I was thinking that with the whole agricultural theme of the temple here, perhaps there should actually be a bit of an agricultural area. I've never really had a real crop farm on this particular season. I do have that small one that I have at my starting area way down there, but nothing significant. And I was thinking that this would be a good place for doing so. Now, this corner right here is reserved for outbuildings because that's specifically given in the module, but they really don't talk about what's in the rest of the grounds inside the wall. I was thinking of having a block for each of the various crops going all the way around here. And that'll explain why there aren't any other outbuildings, is because they're too busy with crop areas for them. Now, before I start on that, the other thing I want to do is to get some cattle. Because right now, I've been going around occasionally killing cattle and occasionally breeding them up that are all in the area, but I really should get a nice centralized area where I'm keeping the cattle. And that could be another thing I can have in there is a cattle area. Now, the tricky thing is bringing them, but we've had a couple of wandering traders who have dropped their leads, so I was hoping to find some cattle in a convenient location and lead them over here. Here they are. I thought I had some about somewhere, so let's try to grab a few. Actually, these look like the ones that I've been breeding up, so I suppose that'll be nice and perfect, right? All right, now, actually, make sure that they stay following me, even if one of the leads break. Now yeah, I do keep the leads after that. Let's see how far I get before everything all breaks apart. Now, fortunately, we're not too far from the temple. All right, I still got all four of them. Good. Yes. Now, unfortunately, there are occasionally little spots of trouble that we have in here, so I want to make sure I avoid them. Good. Boy, it's a whole lot easier when you do this with leads than when you don't, that's for sure. All right. I think I'll bring them down here. This might be a good place for a cattle pen. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. That's the outer wall right there. So how about hmm. Actually maybe oh hey, you guys come inside here. Good. And we've got a pair of these. Boom and boom. Alright, good. Now I can remove these leads if I remember how that's done. Let's see, that is alright, good. Now, where's the last lead? Right there? Okay. Hmm. Got it. Now that's done, we can start breeding them up, and I can get enough leather eventually to to create a trap door, apparently. No, I can eventually have enough leather so that I can finish up my enchanting table, because right now I have maybe half the books at most of what I need. But I think that'll be a good start over there. Good. And now let's see about, well, maybe get some sheep pens or something like that. Before I do that, I'd like to do some planting. I think I'll do the planting up here. That way, there's more likely that I'll have two layers in there. Won't be falling apart when I attempt to when I dig there and say, oh, where can I put my water when I am suddenly needing some water there. All right, so I will just fill this in a little bit here. Then I could bring out the hoe and start work on it. Now, one little piece of water is able to handle 3x3 segments. You see a 7x7 area for everything. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 for most crops. So this actually be a nice little area here which to do everything. So now, where is my hoe? Right here. Unbreaking 2. So I could do as much as I want and not have to worry about anything. Right? Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. And we want 1, 2, 3 here. Do I have a bucket? I have... Why don't I have a bucket? I should have at least have had a bucket of milk, right? Let me get one. I did find a pair of buckets, plus I also found my bucket of milks so that I'll be able to have something to drink just in case a patrol came by. There you go. Now there you go. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make an infinite water supply for that site also, so that I don't have to worry about running constantly back and forth. And we'll bring that over to here. How about, let's see, we're going to want this, that's going to be the buckets, that's going to be 1, 2, 3. So that's going to be the end there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to be putting the infinite supply right over here. Yeah, I think this will be a good location for that. Good and good. All right, there you go. Now I can bring out the hoe and let survive a long time. I know that could have given me a little extra space to move around on, but I said that was mainly a supply source and not one of my official agricultural sources. And what I'll do is I will have a different crop in each 7x7 area. Yes, I know that is not optimal farming and all. Alright, should I do it that way? Or I guess I could vary it. No, because the whole idea of this is actually for show more than anything else, I think, rather than efficiency. And to show them off, you'll have a single type of crop within the area. But I think I'll need a little bit of rest before I continue. I'm beginning to question the wisdom of putting the pasture right next to my bedroom. Oh, well, some of the things you've got to put up with. That is not dirt. That is granite. Yes, that's not what I wanted there. I just wanted to... Where's the dirt? Right there. There you go. Now we can get this in here. See, everything is nice and, well, mostly hydrated. Couple of not too good patches, but you'll just have to live with that. But everything here should be reasonably fine, except for of course, the old not very efficient because I'm using the same crop all the way through. But as I said, show is what we're working on as much as anything else. Now that that's done, speaking of show, if this is going to be for show, then I really should make a new shovel at some point. That bit of water there is just not looking very nice. Okay, there you go. And hey, nice and perfect. Good. That looks much better. Now I can do the next little area, and I have to choose a crop to put there. Interesting question. See, obviously, we've got the wheat. Obviously, if we're doing this type of layout, oh yeah, carrots, that should be next. the pumpkins and the melons would obviously have to be in a different style in where they go, but I think that we could use this particular style for the other crops. So let's have pumpkins and then taters. I think we'll have room for one of these for taters. Should I have one here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Maybe I should add an extra one for that side if I ever run out of things. I want probably this corner to be free since that's going to be the corner of the area here, and then add a few more along this wall here. I think that should work. I now have a full section for carrots and a full section for potatoes. Now we can have a little area for beets. Now the beets aren't going to all be filled up because I only have 10 beet seeds apparently, but eventually they'll grow and I'll get more beet seeds, and when I get more beet seeds I can have that one all filled up. Now let's see what we have here. Then I have to figure out what to do about pumpkins and melons, which would of course be the next section in there. I came back after sleeping and it looks like we've got a new arrival here. What does he want to sell me? Horn coral block, a fern, sand, blue orchid, orange tulip, podzol. Nothing really exciting. Oh, sorry about that. Let's see, 1, 2. Oh, off a little bit, aren't I? Somebody mismeasured. At least it wasn't a major thing. Of course, when it's a major thing, I actually be very, very careful on the measuring, or at least have something so that I hope that I catch it early in that case. But all right, there we go. I think this was caught early enough, not the major problem. Now, I was saying earlier, I'm not worrying about the most efficient way of planting things, but when you only have 10 seeds, I might as well do it efficiently and not do everything tightly until we are yeah, we don't have to worry about doing it tightly until we're forced to do so, because yes, that'll give us a little bit of space that is open next to it so that it could grow maybe a little bit faster. And it looks like our you know well, that's going to delay us on the farming side a little bit, but looks like we've got all our major crops done there. I'm not going to worry about the melons until after he moves off in a few days. So that means we're going to have to go and do a few other things in the meantime. The cattle population is starting to get up here. So let's use that in order to get in and out so I don't accidentally start getting people lost in the gate. Okay, is there one more? Okay, well, I think that's it. There you go. I should have a nice population of cattle soon enough. Good. That takes care of that. I will presume our guest is still roaming around back there. See if he's done any damage or... Yeah, he's still back there. Still trampling along. Well, some of the beets are already growing. Yeah, see, I'm starting to talk like a villager. While the cattle mature and the traveler is in the middle of my garden, maybe the best thing for me to do is to just get these up. Now, I do wonder about the ones here. Should I do, but I want to mark this. That's probably the best thing you should do. I want to mark these walls here so that if there are any upper walls that look like they were designed to go over the lower walls, then I could remember where they're at. Good. And now it's just going to be a great deal of filling. Making progress here, and now I have those lines of torches over the walls, which should help a little bit. Now, concerning these pillars, for the time being, I'm going to have the pillars come up to here so that I could keep track of where they're at, and when I come to actually build the walls, if it's not being covered up, then I could exchange it for something that's more appropriate. But for now, I want to be able to know where the pillars are when I'm building up on the second floor. And I'll do that all the way through for all 6 of the pillars. I have to make sure I'm looking closely in order to see those pillar locations, but they are visible when I bother to look. And I am now getting finished with my... Oh, nope! I got a little bit more to do before I could really call myself finished. Now we are finishing up. There you go. Really? Yeah, that's typical of where things have gone when I chopped things. But this is now nice and complete there. There's the future location of the library, and thanks to the cattle farm, and now I am 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I am 10 books in, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I will have a nice set of books here for enchanting pretty soon, I think. Oh, yes, I do still have to finish some of the walls. But I just thought I'd get the upper area done so that I have a good idea where it all goes. And also, I could be able to take some light measurements to make sure that there are no dark spots around here, because obviously I'm going to need some jungle there. Do I have any jungle? Not yet. Oh, I'll worry about that later. I just have to keep in mind that that needs to be updated. But what I want to check right now is what's going on where that villager was, and of course to pick that up. The trader has departed, and my beets seem to have grown. So I think it's time for me to send in the next harvest. See, it's 10 beets in all and 30 beetroot seeds. So I am actually getting close to being able to fill this up. Now, for the pumpkins and melons, we'll do things a little bit differently. I am going to have a water hole right here. That'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, space. No, actually, what I'll do is this. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, we could make this the pumpkin area. Right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, now we've got that, and then we'll do the same thing here. Then from here, we'll go usual 1, 2, 3 here. And do the same thing on this side. Unfortunately for the melons, we currently only have 2 melon seeds. But I'm sure that eventually when those melons grow, we'll have a huge supply of them going all the way across there and have a nice melon crop there. And that gives us all of our crops that we're going to have that I can think of at least. I'm sure there are one or two that I've forgotten about, but those are the only ones that I've had enough of that I've been able to notice. Now, for this corner right here, these are supposed to be the kennels, and that's straight out of the module. That's one of the few things that is actually specified as to what's on the outside area, so I might as well have that in area, train some dogs and put them over there, maybe train some cats as anti-creeper guards. And that'll be that. Of course, we will need some sheep. Maybe put some sheep here or all on the other side next to the cattle. I have to think on that. And keep the front side open. So I think that's pretty much what we want on the... Oh, I'll need the stables, of course. Of course, we'll need some stables because some proper stables so we don't have to have the horse tied up there or in that fence as we have at the other place. So I think that finishes off what we... Oh my goodness gracious. I am definitely going to be needing something nice to light up this top. That's something that I'll have to think about between episodes. But I'm hoping everything else is lit up reasonably well. But I will check that between episodes when we return for the next episode of Piney Plays Minecraft Pinetopia.